All right. Welcome back, welcome in. You found us once again. Shoot the Gap, the fantasy football focused generational show spanning the generation gaps of the 20s, 30s, and 40s. And yep, anytime you see me start off with an Oh My Gato shirt, you know it's a champ show. That's what it is. It's a champ show. Nothing but champs up in this room. Nothing but champs.
Champs.
The doc is doing husbandly stuff. So, Doc, we miss you, brother, but I know you're here with spirit and love and mind.
Husbandly.
Yes, he's a good husband. And that's something that every man should aspire to be. And so, I am your humble MC, Brian the Amigo Baldwin, the new champ, 2020 champ. And it's my honor to introduce the author, Connor, the Gut Marshall.
And
how you doing, Connor?
Well, one thing I do have in common with Ethan is we both have a ring. Now I have two rings.
I got a ring too.
Yeah, you have a ring. Yes, champ show.
Ethan doesn't have a ring.
He's married. You're not.
Me too.
I'm being facetious. I'm using a transitional point to show off my rings. Don't read into it too much. But the important thing is, amigo, is that you are the champ and I'm a champ and this is a champ show. No, but what I'm saying is he is here in spirit. It's good to be here.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, so
we have a lot of good segments for you guys today.
Yeah. It's our 47th show. And it's January 16th in this hopeful year of our Lord. And we're going to talk about, what, Connor? Let me have you do it, dude. It's the champ show. Let's all throw in here. What are we doing today? What are we doing today, man? Talk about it.
We are going to be hitting several segments. We're going to be talking about Arsenal analysis. We're going to be talking about
no.
Anal cysts. My apologies.
Dude, you don't want to look ignorant, all right, dude? I'm trying to help you out here.
Anal cysts. And then speaking of which, to transition down to what obviously would come next, we're doing a new segment handled by Amigo called Deja Vu or Deja Poo. Really good stuff for you guys. Real, some people, they just want to work blue and wear band t-shirts. That's not us, guys. We're professional as fuck, all right? And so that's what we want to do here. We're also going to be doing the rookie running backs. We did rookie wide receivers last week, so we're going on to some rookie running backs. But I don't know. We might not cover all of those guys because we have a lot of rookie running backs, and we have a lot of other stuff to get into today. So we will play that by ear, sir. Brian, back to you.
Ooh, look at that. See, he is right. Professional. Well, dude, I can't say like AF, dude. That's just not my generation. So
it's not.
Yes,
I can get away with it.
Yeah, you can, dude. I try to stay in my own lane. So
that's why it's called Shoot the Gap.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. But if you want dad jokes, I got them, dude. I got them. But
he has.
I was thinking, dude. I don't have any kids. I have cats. I don't have kids. So I guess that makes me a faux pas. Okay, everybody, see it. There you go. Listen, dude, you'll get it when you listen to it the second time.
No, I understood it the first time.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right. So let's go ahead and thank the supporters of our show. Connor, why don't you start us off big time?
Yeah, well, we were talking about them before the show, High Volume Music Radio, and to attest to their name, it was so loud that I could hear it from Brian's headphones. So it really is High Volume Music Radio. And ironically enough, Brian, you want to say their slogan with me, pal?
Sure.
All right. If it ain't high volume,
it ain't loud enough.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they're very on brand. Pride of Sunnyside. Support them. Mm-hmm. And Brian, you want to catch the other one, fella?
Sure, yeah, fella. Listen to that. That's speaking my language. Hey, fella. Yeah. We want to thank Sports Host app. Yeah, it's a fantastic app for anybody who's a fan of sports. Okay, not necessarily fantasy football. We know which. If you're listening to us right now, you're a fan of fantasy football or us, whatever which way it is. It's a good thing. But if you're a fan for any sports, cricket, badminton, the Olympics might be coming up here pretty soon, so I'm sure that's going to be up there too. You can check out Sports Host app. It's a free app. You download it. and you're welcomed into a community that you can discuss pretty much whatever you want as far as sports goes. So yeah, a lot of love there. So
Yeah, and the important thing about Sports Host is like it isn't like this thing where like there's nothing about football or baseball or basketball or even hockey or soccer, the popular sports. Like no, like it's such a deep app that like we kind of, like there's some things that it has that no other app has, so that's why we highlight those things. It has everything. That's what makes it so great.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, and of course, I always want to remind you guys as you're watching the show on YouTube. If you downloaded us on the High Volume Music Radio app, thank you guys. We love you. Thank you so much. You're very special. I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself. Shouldn't have said that. But yeah, we do love you guys. But as far as if you're watching us on YouTube,
The Amigo has commitment issues.
No, dude.
I'm messing. Continue.
Okay, yeah, and if you're entertained by two generational beefheads bantering about Connor, what should they do, sir?
Like and subscribe, and if you dislike it twice for twice the power. Now, speaking of twice the power, can we go ahead and get into these segments, main, the two of us, that is?
Listen to you. Professional segues right here. That's Connor. That's Connor. But hang on, dude, before we go any further, seriously, before we need to go any further, I do want to talk about this real quick. Talk about your book, dude.
Oh yeah, so I wrote a book about a football player. His name is Alvin Jackson. He also still holds an Olympic record. He got a bronze medal in the Olympic tryouts. You should read it. It's called "You Know Too Much." I'm gonna post a link below. He tried out for the Jets and he met Donald Trump. Read about it in the book.
Oh no, yeah, and yeah, it's available. What's available on?
It's exclusively on Amazon.
Woo! There you go, man. I already downloaded my copy, and I'm glad that I did. Make sure you check that out. What's the name of the title? One more time, Connor.
You Know Too Much.
All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's jump into if you guys have been fans of the show, I used to call this like a little bit of a merry early Christmas, but now it's off season, so it's the good news. No good news is good news. No good news is good news. You ain't got any rules if you ain't got any good news. Ha!
Ha. It's the Gnews time.
I love that, man. Anybody that's been around,
it's pretty endearing,
dude. It's a great space coaster, dude. Shout out to those guys, dude. I mean,
it makes me feel like I'm stranded on a boat in the wilderness with someone who I initially hate, but after like 3 weeks of them singing the same stupid song, I start to find comfort in it. Like the more you hear it, but it's like the more you hear it, it's like, man, this guy's crazy. Like it really does feel like a fever dream, like Muppets universe type thing, and it's like, what the hell is this? Yeah.
Okay, and here's what's really crazy and special about what you just said. You haven't ever seen the Great Space Coaster, correct, Connor?
Yes, correct.
You just gave an accurate description of the Great Space Coaster.
That's how powerful my gut is. I feel things so deeply.
Anybody that's watched it at my age, dude, that's exactly what it is. It's a puppet fever dream. All right. Okay.
How do you think I got these rings?
Heyo. All right. So let's go ahead and get into the news. Let's just talk about
the Gnews, Brian. Stay on brand, please. Sorry,
my brother. Sorry. Yeah. Let's talk about the most nervy thing here in Houston. We're based out of Houston, so this is what. Let's just get it over with. Let's just talk about it. All right. Let's just talk about it and get our feelings out there. Let's just talk about it. All right. Deshaun Watson's not happy. So what's the latest that you know about that, Connor?
I'm going to be brief and I'm going to be brutal.
Well, but before you give an opinion, talk about what you know about it. Okay, let's talk
Deshaun
about the
wants
facts
out. That's okay. The facts.
But
that's
why?
The feelings.
Why?
Because of Cal being a complete idiot and keeping Easter bitch who screwed the pooch. And now Watson is like, fuck y'all, I want to go play ball somewhere else. And as a native Houstonian, I perfectly respect his decision to go somewhere else. And I also respect the organization's decision to use him to get some decent picks so we have a shot at rebuilding because of how bad our franchise is. Look, the offensive line is bad and the quarterback is bad. Not bad, but the morale is bad from that standpoint. He doesn't want to play with us. Deshaun Watson is great, but we don't have a healthy line. He's going to get injured if we keep letting him get sacked that much. And that's a really expensive contract to have on that. You might as well let him go be happy and play somewhere where he can stay healthy and maybe win something.
Well, you've been talking about that before, this whole kerfuffle. Yeah. But he tweeted yesterday that his anger was at 2 and now it's at 10. Then he also posted a picture of him on Instagram wearing a San Francisco Joe Montana jersey.
Don't think he won't, like, he will go to the Niners.
And then he just, like, the report came out that he just wants out. Just wants out of Houston. And so Connor's been talking about, like, trading Watson a long time ago.
Rebuild, just like the Rockets did. It worked for them.
Well, we'll see. But I'm of the feeling that I'm hoping that this is something that can be fixed, that Deshaun Watson doesn't go. He's one of the things that makes he is one of the thing that makes the Texans special and fun to watch. He's also the guy that sells all the tickets. You know, we have JJ Watt, you know, but JJ Watt's not on the HEB commercials, man. You know, it's Deshaun Watson, you know, so it's just it's a difficult time to be a fan in Houston. However, if he does leave, you know, one of the places that's rumored, I heard about Miami, you know, and that's kind of silly, but it seems to me, but you know, it's still being rumored. The other place rumored though, Denver. Denver's being rumored as a place for him to go, you know. So we'll see what happens there. I'm hoping.
I'd like to see him in Chicago still. I'm going to stand by that statement.
Okay, all right. Well, I would like to see him in Houston. That's what I would like, and
I would
like
to see Houston rebuilt. Please crucify me in the comments down below. And
cheer me, and cheer
Brian, or vice versa, depending on your opinion, because this is a big world. Now, is there any more good news?
Okay, no. Well, there's a few good news things that I'll just pop through, and cause I wanted to talk at length of that.
Yeah.
But there's some I'll just mention, and if there's anything that you want to talk about, like you want to comment, just pop right in. All right, cool. I'll give like a second for it, like to digest for you. If you have nothing to say, then I'll just move on because there's a few things here, and I know we have a lot of stuff to cover.
Yeah.
So the Jets, they found their head coach in Robert Saleh. You know, so what's really crazy though, I don't know about you, Connor. You know, but to me, the only time I've ever seen like anything close to this guy was his last name in Psalms. You know, you always see it in Psalms Salah. You always see that. That's the only time I've really seen that guy. But he actually was the San Francisco defensive coordinator last year. And what's really cool though is he's now one of 4 minority head coaches since he's a Lebanese American. So that's kind of cool. Comments.
Selah.
All right. Urban Meyer, dude. How about that? Is now the head coach for Jacksonville. What's your thoughts on that, real quick, Connor?
Selah.
All right, Atlanta. I think we found something now. Yeah, I think we actually accidentally fell into something. Make sure you write that down, Connor. So Atlanta has hired
in Hebrew.
Atlanta has hired former tight ends offensive coordinator Arthur Smith as their head coach. Connor?
Selah.
Broncos hired George Payton as GM. And he spent a decade and a half as a Vikings executive. Connor?
Turns out Payton was hired for the Denver Broncos, but it was not the Payton we thought it would be.
The Peyton of it, it's a little, different special. Love it. Chuck Pagano from the Bears defensive coordinator is retiring. Connor,
Brian, what have you have watched many a football game with me where Chuck Pagano was there, and you heard me address Chuck Pagano. What usually would I shout very aggressively the second that he appeared on the screen?
Legend.
No, you're telling me. No, I would say something that I'm trying to get the amigo to say, and it seems like
no, you're saying it.
I would say, "Fuck you, Chuck Pagano, you piece of shit."
There you go.
Look, the Colts They think they're better than the Texans, and they're not. Those idiots had Peyton Manning and Andrew Luck, and they turned it into one Super Bowl. So don't tell me that they're a well-run franchise, okay? Because they're not.
Okay. Well, I'm at experience. I've experienced talking because we're here in Houston. So, the Seahawks fired their offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer over philosophical differences earlier in the week. The Pete Carroll, head coach, stated that he was telling Schottenheimer that he wants to establish the run more next year, and then here comes the firing. So, thoughts on that, Connor?
I just think it's ironic that Pete Carroll says he's leaving Schottenheimer because he wants to run more. Like, what are you saying that Schottenheimer wants to run more, or Carroll wants to run?
Pete Carroll wants to run more because supposedly he's concerned about the turnovers in Wilson. Depending 100% on Wilson.
That's not because of Wilson. That's because of his line. That's why. That's Pete Carroll's problem. Is he's all about star power and skill positions, and he doesn't. He needs to get a top 5 O-line. Look, guys, O-lines win championships. O-lines win legacies. You need to have an O-line. Okay. But I would like Schottenheimer to come to Houston. He'd be better than what we have now.
Okay. The Eagles, they fired their Super Bowl winning head coach Doug Peterson.
Why did they do that?
Dude, Go ahead.
I hope the Texans hire Doug Peterson.
Well, supposedly one of the major issues was the difference in philosophy regarding Carson Wentz. Wentz even stated after the firing that his chances about being traded has changed. And so could Carson Wentz over Jalen Hurts?
This is such an Eagles move. The Eagles are such a toxic franchise because they want to win Super Bowls and they also want Carson Wentz to be their quarterback. And those two things have never happened, and they never will.
Oh, my gosh. Okay. All right. And so Von Miller is being investigated.
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah, this is sketchy, and this is the first thing that he's been in for, 6 years now? So this is kind of a thing. I think he will be suspended at least a couple games, bare minimum.
Yeah, not good. And then the last one, and this is where you know what, Doc isn't here to say to do the soundboard thing, but so Connor, I'm going to have you do it because you know exactly what it is. Josh Gordon, soundboard Connor.
Suspended forever.
Oh my God, there you go. He has conditional reinstatement rescinded due to not meeting the terms of the conditional reinstatement, and is now suspended indefinitely.
I was gonna play in the NFL, but then I got high. I was gonna go to the weight room, but then I got high. Now I'm indefinitely suspended, and I know why.
Why, man?
Cause I got high. Cause I got high. Cause I got high. La da 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 da. Now, Josh Gordon is a local Houstonian, so I feel for him. I feel it's very tragic because from his perspective, he probably thought, well, I'm in Washington, I'm good, and it seems like they have an out for him. It's like, we know you're not sober, Gordon. They just don't want him. They don't want him to be able to catch balls and also be on a third planet at the same time.
Yeah, that only works in basketball. All right, so
he should learn from Sammy Watkins and just say he's a lizard person. If you say you're a lizard person, they leave you alone. It's like, this guy's fucking weird. Let's not talk to him.
Crazy. He's part hermit. Get away from him.
I mean, but don't tell me that Sammy Watkins isn't on what Josh Gordon's on. And he's over here like, I'm a lizard.
Gotcha, man. Gotcha. Well, let's move on to your start or shoot a ceasefire on the rookie. Was it running backs?
Yes, I got this. We're doing the rookie running backs of 2020, and we're going to be talking about the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll go ahead and start us off or lead us on.
There's no one else that deserves to be talked about first. My boy, my champ, Jonathan Taylor. All right. I predicted this guy from the get-go, and this will forever be one of my guys, and no one can take this from me.
Did you read about the news earlier this week?
Marlon Mack might be leaving. Fuck
Mm-hmm.
yeah, man. Because Jonathan Taylor's that guy, dude. The bright spot of the Colts offense.
Hines seems to always going to be there, so you have to kind of keep that in mind. But
yeah, Hines does the dirty work. You have to. This is like Arian Foster and Ben Tate, okay? But who would you rather have, Arian Foster? You see what I'm saying?
We stayed fans, dude, through that era.
That's That's why I'm not going. It's like I've endured through so much shit with the Texans. Like I'm not a fair weather fan.
I'm not a fair weather fan either. I'm old. I just been taking
Broncos fat.
Dude, there's just so much that a horse can get whipped, man, before it just lays down.
Before it becomes a different animal.
Well, no, dude, no. Like, if you whip a horse too much, dude, or a mule or anything, it's not gonna bite you. It's just gonna sit
Seems
down.
like what happened is that at least the Texan sticker is on the Obama sign, so we're all good.
Well, I always have hope.
But look,
I always have hope.
Speaking of hope, so we're moving on from Jonathan Taylor because we have a lot of guys, and I want to cover all of them.
Go.
Jonathan Taylor's probably going to be a second pick next year. I spent a third on him, so I don't mind spending a second.
Yeah, it's in RB1 or RB2 next year.
RB1
do that way.
Yeah, right. He is on my way. He is on my way too early 2021 shooter ceasefire love target lineup that we will be talking about later in the following months. So second guy. Now look, you know that we got to talk about these three guys first. So I'm gonna hit you with a double header, okay? The Dominator and Eclair, the two other rookies that both got a nickname from the show, so we got to talk about them. Now, they have this was interesting. Okay, you had Jonathan Taylor, you had J.K. Dobbins, you had Eclair. And let's be realistic. Everyone said that Eclair was going to be number 1. They thought J.K. Dobbins was probably going to be number 2, and Jonathan Taylor was going to be number 3. But that was inverted. Jonathan Taylor was number 1. J.K. was kind of number 2, and Eclair fell off at number 3. I mean, they brought in another guy.
I think it's another guy that we'll be talking about that might vault these two guys, but we'll get to him.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. But you're 100% right, and both of the situations that limited both their ceilings, Eclair and J.K. Dobbins, is their quarterback, and it's crazy to say that Mahomes limited an offensive player's production.
He throws it to Kelsey in the red zone.
Yeah. It's almost similar to what Aaron Rodgers does. When they get close, they just throw for the touchdown.
Or ironically enough, Mitchell Trubisky, he loves to sling it in the end zone. Asshole.
There you go. There you go. And then of course, as far as J.K. Dobbins goes, he's always fighting off Gus Edwards. Was Mark Ingram, and dude,
that's the problem is Gus Edwards and Justice Hill aren't going anywhere. So J.K. Dobbins doesn't have a clear path to success.
Well, no. Jackson's not going anywhere, and he's the one who runs in the touchdowns.
That's very true. And he throws it to Mark Andrews.
So those are the things that limit him.
Hey, let me talk about the Ravens. Okay, the Ravens are going to bounce back in 2021. They're going to have a better season, and Lamar does like throwing to the running back historically.
Can I ask you a question? What happened to Mark Ingram?
He got what he deserved for kicking the Texans sign. You don't do that to Houston. Sooner or later, that comes back to bite you in the ass.
So seriously, is he hurt or I don't know either. I was just wondering if you heard anything. I really haven't heard much.
I haven't heard anything. I've just kind of been watching him. Just like he doesn't seem to be the guy anymore.
It was weird because last year, he just blew up, and then he blew out.
The thing you have to understand about Mark Ingram is he's really insecure because he's he knows what he is, and so when you see him he's like a leech. Like the first year Lamar Jackson really popped off, Mark Ingram was always in his corner hyping him up, his
hype man.
Yeah, it's come on, man.
Yeah, Ed McMahon, you are correct, sir.
Can we keep it going here? Because I think I know who you want to talk about now.
Go.
So it's one of these next three guys. I don't know which one, but I'm assuming it's this one.
You said you knew.
No good news. The Miami Dolphins. Mike, Gaskin. I'm sorry, my dog barks very loud. Not Gaskin. Akers.
Mm-mm.
Robinson. See, I
Yeah.
told you it was one of those three. But I think that all three of those, I'm going to be honest with you, this was perfect. This was organically done. All three of those guys, I think, have a shot to being that fourth guy, because I do think that Eclair still has a good shot at being a top 3 guy next year, and that's the thing. That's why we got to talk about this. Gaskin, look, he came out of nowhere. He surprised you, and the Dolphins look good moving forward, and as of today, they have some good draft capital. They can make their defense really good. They could improve their offensive line, making the run game better, or the defense making the run game better, or, Tua making the run game better. There's a lot of things that could go good for Gaskin.
And I think Gaskin also showed that he can work. He works fine with Tua. He does fine.
Yeah,
he'll
Gaskin and Gesicki are Tua's targets. That's
Yeah.
how you got to see these things.
Yeah. And Akers, man, he's
Akers,
taking over.
He's looking like the Chief.
Do you think he might be like the Gurley? Like, I mean, like
I
you're
think
talking
he's
about,
the Gurley.
like round 3, like he's round 3 material type thing. And
here's the thing.
man.
You play that close to the chest that he's worth that. And you don't talk to people about him being worth that. You say he's a 4th or a 5th. And you don't even do that in a mock.
Okay.
But you write that down and you know that, so in a draft, like, you can be the guy that gets him. Because you're sneaky like that. That's how you have to play the draft.
There you go. Good advice. And of course, dude, you're talking about Robinson, man. That guy, man. He was okay. This is a guy that did incredible. It had shaky quarterback play and had shaky O-line play, and he still was awesome. All right, undrafted free agent, and now he's going to have. He has Urban Meyer now as a head coach, which has to be a good thing. And also, they got first pick of the draft, so they're going to upgrade that quarterback position. And so dude, looks good. Looks really good for Jacksonville coming up, dude. So I'm pretty excited about James Robinson. I would love to get James Robinson like in the 3rd round. I would love to see that happen, but we'll see where he lands.
Yep.
But yeah, dude, I love that guy. But there's another guy you left out that I think I would put
he's on the list of the remaining guys. I guarantee you.
But I would put this next guy over J.K. Dobbins and definitely over Eclair. If it's who I think you're thinking about.
Gibson.
Yep. Antonio Gibson.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Antonio Gibson's on the list.
Yeah, especially if they're talking about like Peyton Manning going to Washington. I've heard some stuff like that, or not Peyton Manning, the P River, Phillips River going to Washington.
They don't need they need to stay with the rookie guy they have. They need to improve the line. They need to improve the D.
Dwayne Haskins?
He has been released from that organization. I'm talking about the rookie. Right. The rookie that balled out against Bucks. Brady and the Bucks. Remember that game? That fucking Minch that came in with that fucking Russian touchdown, dude. Come on, man.
There you go. Okay.
No, but two other guys besides Gibson that I just want to throw in the pile that I think they're the other 2 guys are Zach Moss and AJ Dillon.
Okay.
That's the thing. That's the thing. That's why all these guys are on the list, and that's how I want you guys to view this, okay? Because this is the complete picture of all the rookie running backs, and all of them have a shot at being a top 10 guy next year, mathematically speaking. I mean, we all have the guys that we would rather go with. Yeah, Jonathan Taylor, because of the production, the numbers, and the opportunity, and other running backs getting cut, his offensive line being so good.
Yeah, I would put James Robinson number 1.
You would put James? Okay.
Yep.
So, for viewers at home, so I have Jonathan Taylor at number 1. He has James Robinson, JR, as number 1. I would have probably... I'm still going to put Eclair at 2. I'm just going to respect that because of the Chiefs. I know you wouldn't. Who do you have at 2? J-Train?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I would probably, honestly, I would put J.K. Dobbins pretty low. I would have, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I would put Robinson at 3. Then I would put Akers at 4, Gaskin at 5, probably Gibson at 6, Dylan at 7, Dobbins at 8, and then Moss at 9. Because there's 1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, there's 9 guys. Yeah.
Yeah, just for me, I mean, you did all the research, but just for me, just from over here shooting from the hip, I would say, yeah, like I would just gonna do like maybe top 3 or top 4, which would be of course James Robinson, number 1. Number 2 would be Taylor. Okay, number 3 would be Akers. So I think that guy's gonna be
Akers at 3.
yes, I sure do. And then number 4 is where I put Gibson. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're a little different. Where would you have Dylan and Moss then, sir?
Well, see, okay, that's an. I probably put Dylan number 5. Yeah, only because I don't know, but it's just because everything is up. I'd only put this way. I'll put Dylan number 5 if
I have him
Aaron
at
Jones
7.
if Aaron Jones leaves, because Aaron Jones might be leaving, and if he leaves, and
I think he
then,
leaves, but they're going to be cute and draft someone.
well, yeah, I understand that, but then this guy's going to take over. You feel me? Yeah, I mean, it's not, so he's going to still be the cheap rookie guy, or the rookie guy on the cheap contract. So I think he'll do fine. So that's why, and that would be opportunity. And so the Eclair thing, it just makes me really nervous because of his
and
body
Damian
type.
Williams comes back next year.
Yes, exactly right. Good point there, Connor, which we haven't mentioned. I'm glad you mentioned that, dude. Yeah, that does affect Eclair. I mean, he might be the goal line back, and then Eclair's like between the 20s, so, he just got some. And then
Bell's
then you have
probably
that.
staying there. Bell's probably not going anywhere. He's probably
No,
happy.
I think they're probably going to.
They're not
yeah,
going to keep him on.
they're not going to ring that bell again. I think it's a 1-year contract.
Is
It's
Bell busted?
I think so. He should go to Philly because he's a cracked bell. How about that?
So he partied too much, and he yeah.
You didn't get that, did you?
I did, yeah.
The Liberty Bell's cracked.
Liberty Bells, yeah.
Cracked bell in Philly. Anyway, old man joke. Okay, very very bad. Okay, cool. All right, so
that's the rookie running backs.
So let's go.
We'll talk about that more later. Selah.
That's our moving on now. Say la.
It works really well.
Dude. Actually, it really does. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to our last segment here. The deja vu or deja poo. Yeah, highbrow humor right there. So basically, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be bringing up to Connor these 4 quarterbacks, because we're going to be doing quarterbacks this week, and we're going to talk about them, talk about what they did just briefly this year, because everybody already knows these guys and what they've done, but we'll also kind of try to see if we can we're going to predict or just talk about what the chances are of next year of it being the same or different. And in some cases it'll be deja vu, some cases it'll be deja poo. We'll see. Okay. All right. So let's start with the first one. Aaron Rodgers, man. Aaron Rodgers. Let's talk about him. Okay. So this year he did, 4,000, almost 40. It was one yard short of 4,300 yards passing, 48 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. Had a great year. Okay. But he has Love, that they just drafted last year on his back. And also we're talking about the changing of the guard of maybe on the running backs. Aaron Rodgers or Aaron Jones was one of his favorite targets. And also you're talking about Tanyan's not going to be the only guy, because now those tight ends are going to start getting healthy. Your thoughts, Connor? Is it going to be deja vu or is it going to be deja poo?
I'm going on deja vu, Brian. I was in on Aaron Rodgers for the start all year. I think he's going to be a good target next year.
All right. Yeah. I think I'm hoping that this year's draft, they'll amend their mistake or what seems to be a mistake from last year, and they'll get another good wide receiver to help him out, and that would be great. But no, this year's not over yet for them. But I am worried. I will tell you, I am worried.
Dream thing would be Devontae, the guy from the Alabama.
Yes.
That would be dream situation.
Devontae. They'd be the Devontaes.
Devontae. It would be the Devontaes.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
But they even each other out so perfectly, right?
Yeah, dude. I mean, that would be a great like a R&B group name, the Devontae.
Yeah, if I was the Packers, what I would do, in all honesty, is I would try to get that, or I would get some burner type, okay? Because MVS, he's not consistent. If you want to play winning football, MVS is your wide receiver 5. You keep him hungry, okay? And then I'm forgetting his name, but the big guy, you know who I'm talking about?
Tonka?
No, not the tight end, the wide receiver, the one who got injured with the ab injury.
Oh, Lazard.
Lazard, yeah.
Yeah.
Lazard's your 3. Get a burner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it looks pretty good for him. The next one I would say is the Herbs. Justin Herbert.
Oh, the Herbs. I'm all in on the Herbs. He's on my list. Way too early list.
Yeah, he did 4,336 yards this year, 31 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. If you're the little this kind of stuff makes you nervous, which it makes me nervous. His completion rate was 66.6%. So I just throwing that out there. But he's going to have a new coach.
For all intents and purposes, it's not something to actually be that scared about because that's just dividing 2 by 3. So from a statistical perspective, it's very likely to happen sooner or later.
It's okay, but he's going to have a different head coach. So because we already talked about last show about Anthony Lynn leaving, is that going to change his output, or do you think?
I sure hope not. But if they bring in a guy that's like defense, run the ball, that's not going to necessarily help him out.
Well, I do know the one thing that we did see is that Justin Herbert, just by his own natural ability, he knows how to target his guys. He was targeting Keenan Allen a bunch. He was targeting Hunter Henry a bunch. And whenever Eckler was healthy, he was targeting him in some games. So, he knows how to get the ball out there to the guys that matter. And also Mike Williams, I think, is still a growing boy. I think as far as production, I think he's going to do even better next year. But we'll see.
Sure hope so.
Stop getting hurt. Yeah, so Justin, so you're saying deja vu or deja vu, Connor?
Deja vu.
Deja vu. All right.
Deja vu.
Okay, let's go to. So those were kind of a little bit easier, just to kind of get your feet wet into the segment. And so these last your feet wet. Okay. Wow, you hang around some.
No, before that, you're fixating on the wrong detail.
Oh, okay. Okay, so these next two are a little different. So here we go. Kyler Murray. All right, this was a little bit harder to predict.
Wow.
Right? Yeah, and let me throw down the case. All right, so this year he did 3,971 yards, 26 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions, and he had 558 attempts. All right, so it's important. That's an important number. Okay, and he also had this year he had 4 rushing touchdowns. Okay, last year he had 7,693 yards, 26 TDs. 12 interceptions.
He did not throw for 7,000 yards last year.
That's what it says. And when I looked it up, and then 1,000 attempts, and then he had 11 rushing touchdowns last year. Okay, so there was definitely a decline in
Kyler Murray.
ESPN. This is when I looked up ESPN, and admittedly,
no one's ever thrown for 7,000.
That's what
yards,
it said.
Brian.
That's what I said. I was like, I read it twice.
Did you check somewhere else?
I just did ESPN. I trusted ESPN.
No, we're doing this right now.
Let's do it. But the point is
journalism.
Okay. Go and correct that. And he had more better production last year than he did this year. And this year he had D-Hop. So what's your thoughts, man? Is this going to be because that was not what you're hoping for? Because you drafted him, I think in the 5th round, Connor. So like, is this what were you happy with this? Was this a deja vu year or a deja vu year? I mean, would you want a year like this again?
He did not. He's thrown 7,000 yards for his career, Brian.
Oh. Sorry.
In 2019, he threw for 3,722. He threw for 20 touchdowns and 12 interceptions with an 87.4 passer rating. And in the year 2020, he threw for 3,971 yards, 26 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions with a 94.3% rating.
Yeah, I got that one right.
No, you got it.
I got the first one, or this year's, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but your whole story is now turned upon itself, my friend, because I drafted... No. He did better. He did better. He did not do worse. He did better with D-Hop.
How many rushing touchdowns?
What he got... He did not get...
Come on. Hit me with the rushing touchdowns, because that's where his value is. Come on.
That's not the only place the value is.
Come on.
Let me see that. It
Well, I
doesn't. It
think
doesn't have that.
the question was asked. Were you happy with what you got this year?
I was not,
Okay, so in your mind, it was a poo,
but I
right?
think that he has a very good shot at bouncing back. I
Okay,
don't. I
so
don't.
you would think that it's not gonna be deja vu then, right?
No.
Awesome. Okay, so it's gonna be better. Okay, cool.
Yes.
All right. Okay. All right. Yeah. So I was a little nervous, but we talked about D Hop, and D Hop, he can get he kind of like starts mellowing out during the end of the year. He wasn't producing at high numbers towards the fantasy football playoffs. And so it started, and I don't know if it's because Kyler got hurt. And if he does, I mean, he does get hurt. But let me ask you, Connor. Let's say if he is hurt and he learned his lesson, he's not going to run as much. Is he still a
No.
high value quarterback?
No, he needs to run.
Okay, so without running, okay, cool. All right, so that's something to keep an eye on then. But right now, you're saying that he's not going to have the year like he had this year. It's going to be a better year next year, correct?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So the last one that I'll propose to you, and hopefully I got these stats right. If you want to jump on my ass again about this, it'd be fine. Lamar Jackson, 2,757 yards this year, 26 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, 7 rushing TDs, which was exactly the same amount of rushing TDs he got last year. And last year he did 3,127 yards, 36 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions. So that one was a step down. Okay.
Yeah, but he's a bounce back candidate, and here's why. Lamar Jackson ended the year on a really strong note, and look, like it or not, because of COVID, because of everything, the Ravens got hit hard by Corona, and they did not have a full squad this year. They had linemen like they weren't there and shit. Look for the Ravens 2021 to come back because Lamar Jackson, he thinks he's that guy. He thinks he's the best player in the NFL, and the whole organization is built around him. So you best believe come 2021 they're going to come back and they want to be putting up 2019 numbers.
All right. So there you go, man. That was the very first installment of Deja Vu and Deja Poo. Yeah, so looks like part of the poo was my my stats there, which Connor quickly got.
Hey,
so.
It was only 1 out of 4, which is not .666, so you're good.
Hey, I'm not such a loser after all. All right, so we'll go ahead and at this point we'll just go ahead and move on to the next or the last segment, which is our Arsenal analysis. Yeah, so for
anal cyst, Brian.
Oh, sorry, I'm sounding ignorant. Sorry.
Yeah,
you're
ignorant.
Right. Sorry, man.
You
sorry.
Ignorant fuck.
And so last week we did mine. We talked about mine. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to go over Connor's draft,
yes,
1
sir.
through 15,
mm-hmm.
who he picked up, and we'll just talk about it. We're going to talk about if there was a good pick, bad pick, which one was his best value pick, and also his thoughts behind like certain players. If there's ones that popped up, they're kind of weird. But yeah, let's go and get started, Connor. It's your draft. You take the wheel, sir.
Well, thank you, Brian. The first thing I want to address is we talked about the Thunder Flex or Lightning Flex concept a lot, and I decided to go Thunder Flex hard. My top 3 picks, I all put in the running backs. I got Joe Mixon, Josh Jacobs, and Jonathan Taylor for my first 3 picks. Joe 1, Josh 2, Jonathan 3.
3 J's.
3 J's.
Could you keep the streak alive? No way you can keep the J.
Yeah, because with my 4th pick, I got Juju Smith-Schuster as my first wide receiver off the board. Then I got Kyler Murray, number 5. Robert Woods, number 6, wide receiver 2. Then I got cute. This is my first bad pick. Although I'm not going to lie, Juju was a cute pick. I should have drafted DK. I should have drafted DK.
Or Stephon. Stephon Diggs.
Or Stephon. Or a bunch of other Allen Robinson, I'm pretty sure.
Keenan Allen.
No, but Matt Breida, 7th pick. Look, the Wolverine, he's no longer in the club of fictitious players that I am all in on. He is abandoned.
God, how about
I'm
that
leaving
guy?
him to get milk, and I am never coming back. It looks like Gaskin's the guy. My 8th pick.
Question.
He's
on
done.
Breida.
He's
okay.
He's done.
All right.
If I say he's done, he's done. I was the only one cheering for him.
Okay, go for it.
David Montgomery with my 8th pick. In my opinion, the biggest value pick in the draft. He ended up being a league winner for a lot of people, and I got him in the 8th.
you have two that fit that category, in my opinion. But
Yeah, there's another one.
considering your draft strategy, I think you might be right, sir.
Yeah.
Who you have right now and who you don't have.
Because I went running back heavy. And speaking of being heavy, what rhymes with heavy is petty, and petty is the next pick that I did. Duke Johnson at number 9, because one of my friends drafted David Johnson. And it was a little being cute because I drafted Jonathan Taylor and they drafted Hines, so I was like, you're gonna take something of mine, I'm gonna take something of yours.
No, that was not the inspiration, sir. At least not how I saw it. I saw it that yes, I agree that it was petty, but it was not because of that. I think it was you picked Duke Johnson because the guy who had David Johnson also picked J.K. Dobbins, who you were aiming for, and you really wanted.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that. So anyway, I did that. Then with my 10th pick, I also got Gesicki, which I ended up being right about. Shout out to Mike Gesicki. Speaking of good value, in the 11th, shout out to Aaron Rodgers.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Amazing.
I am that good with quarterbacks. I am never trading them to you again, Brian. With my 12th pick, I got Jamison Crowder. With my 13th pick, I got the New Orleans D. Then I got Noah Fan the 14th and Sly with the 15th. And then obviously I picked up Koo when he was made available on the waivers. So overall, I had a really good draft, better than average. So it makes sense that I hold on to my draft. Where I ended up getting fucked was Joe Mixon. So he is once again the guy that I'm just not dealing with him. I'm not dealing with Joe Mixon. I will deal with Josh Jacobs. I will deal with Jonathan Taylor. I will deal with Robert Woods, David Montgomery, Kyler Murray. I will deal with Aaron Rodgers, Mike Gesicki. But I will not deal with Juju, and I will most certainly not deal with Breida or Duke Johnson.
Yeah, Juju is actually going to probably be changing teams. So depending on where he lands, I think we'll change your mind on that. Yeah, so I think that's one thing.
I really don't think so.
Okay. All right.
Historically, how have Pittsburgh wide receivers done when they leave Pittsburgh besides Emmanuel Sanders?
Yeah. And the thing is, let me ask you, 3rd round, Joe Mixon's there. Do you grab him?
Nope, because I'm looking at Saquon. I'm looking at Cam Akers. I'm looking at James Robinson.
Dude, I was thinking about Saquon, and we're thinking, oh, Saquon's going to drop, he's going to drop, right? But, dude, okay, he's going to be healed by training camp, all right? And so what's going to happen is you're going to start hearing all this stuff come out. Saquon's great, and Saquon –
mathematically, Brian, it doesn't work for him to be a first-round pick, so he's at least going to be a second-round pick because there's at least 6 wide receivers. No, I'm sorry. There's at least 6 running backs, a quarterback or 2, a tight end or 2, and enough wide receivers for there to be 12 guys ahead of him.
Yeah,
there
don't
just
know.
is.
I understand that, dude, but I really think that he's going to go in the first round.
Well, Saquon is your boy. Would you draft him in the first round?
No. I'm not saying he's my boy. I'm just trying to be trying to talk about the fact that look, fourth round. Something just happened outside my door. I don't know. Whenever this podcast is over, I'm gonna have something to handle. It seems. But the 4th round, Juju Smith-Schuster, you fell victim to the hype, just like I fell victim to the hype of DJ Moore. Okay. And so that's what I'm talking about, dude. Like right now it's quiet, it's the playoffs, Saquon Barkley, the only tweeting he's doing is comments about certain plays. And the only thing about his physical ability right now is that he's able to walk now, But whenever training camp starts, okay, and then he starts playing, or he starts talking, and he starts saying, oh, Saquon is of old, and blah, 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 and they updated like the line or something like that. And they're also going to have Solder, Nate Solder, who was like the rock, of their line's going to be coming back, So, I mean, there's going to be a lot of hype, dude, and so that, I guess what I'm trying to say is like, you should not draft Saquon in the first round, but I think people are.
I am going to be the eternal optimist who hopes he goes in the 3rd because that is where I want him. Moving on. Isn't there one more guy? Oh wait, no. I'm sorry. So I think that's it for the analysis.
Yeah,
the analysis. Yeah.
Well, no. One thing I wanted to talk about, okay, is that's your draft. Okay, now let's talk about who did you end up with. Okay, that's who you started with.
Well, I ended up picking up several guys. I picked up Chase Claypool. I picked up Cam Akers. I picked up Jonnu Smith.
You didn't, but yeah, I mean, I have a list here of what you ended with, and you didn't end with Cam Akers.
I ended with David Montgomery.
Uh-huh.
I had Jonathan Taylor and Josh Jacobs as my running backs.
Mm-hmm.
And I had
was good.
I had Tonka as my tight end.
Mm-hmm.
I had Murray as my quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And Claypool and Woods as my wide receivers.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Montgomery in the flex.
Mm-hmm. Montgomery in the flex.
And your defense was Cleveland. And
yeah.
Of course, you had Koo. And then talk about on your bench here.
Well, it looked different the final week because that was just defensive moves. But I'll give you week 15 because I feel like that's more realistic.
Okay, sure. Yeah, go for it.
So this was the week that I foolishly set Josh Jacobs because he got 18.9 points. I had Hines, Gus Edwards, and Joe Mixon still.
Okay, all right. Yeah. So one thing I wanted to point out is that I think that like whenever we did my analysis, like I had like 4 guys, from my original draft, something like that. You stayed the course, dude. You had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys, nine guys that you kept all the way throughout the year. And I thought that was pretty commendable, man.
Thanks, man.
that you because that was one of my lessons was that I need to be more patient. Yeah, if I would have been more patient, I think I would have ended up probably probably would have had an easier time of the year. So yeah, man. So I think that but you looked at it, and you'll be seeing everybody watching and listening to us that as we do the draft. When we get ready for the draft, we'll be talking about, exactly the approach as far as like what qualifies in the first round, what doesn't qualify in the first round. But what's really cool is that now you guys know that I move quick. Like if you're not producing a lot, but I dropped some good stuff. Like I dropped DeAndre Swift, which I should not have done, but Connor kept on, he held the line on a lot of guys that end up coming out for him. One of them being David Montgomery, because David Montgomery was borderline droppable throughout the year. And then towards the end, boy, did he explode. So yeah, so you get all this information here, yeah, and so just letting you guys know, make sure. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna end the show here. We'll go ahead and land this plane. Okay, so yeah, and so make sure to like and subscribe because you're gonna get all these different viewpoints, approaches to the draft, and you'll see when we go over Ethan, how his year went. We'll talk about that. Maybe he might be the difference between the two. Maybe he held on, between more than me and less than Connor. I don't know. We'll see. You have to like or subscribe to find out. Yeah. So, Connor, before we so next year or next week, what are we taking care of next week?
We are doing the Deja Vu or Deja Poo. Again,
yeah, probably running backs. Yeah.
No, we already talked about rookie running backs.
No. Deja Vu and Deja Poo. We've only done.
Oh yeah, Deja Vu, Deja Poo running backs.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna be.
I'll probably do running back.
Yeah, we can do rookie quarterbacks.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, because we don't have enough rookie tight ends. We don't have rookie kicker defense or anything, but we can do rookie quarterbacks.
Yeah. We'll do. Yeah. Well, there is one rookie defense that happened, which was Minnesota.
Very true.
Boy, was that a boo-hoo on me? Yeah. So and so let's go ahead and so make sure, Connor, if they want to see this, if they love what they heard and they want to hear the continuation of our analysis,
like and subscribe.
Yeah. Make sure and do that. Yeah, and if you're listening to us on High Volume Music Radio app, please make sure check us out on YouTube. If you're listening to us on YouTube, make sure and download the High Volume Music app, which actually is a perfect segue to thanking our supporters. I'll start High Volume Music Radio. Yeah, make sure to download that app. I'm at the we talked about it on the top of the show, but we didn't mention that you can get shows like the Andrea B's Vocal Sounds, the Business Knowledge Broker Show, the Soul Brothers Show, What's on Your Mind with Aunt Boogie, and Blame It on the Bookie, and of course our show. So make sure to download the app, the Pride of Sunnyside, High Volume Music Radio. If it ain't high volume, it ain't loud enough. So check it out. And what's our next one, Connor?
The Sports Hosts app, y'all. Get on that app already, all right? I need you to do it for me, guys, because every time that you click the link below in the description, you sign up for the app, it helps me out, okay? I'm trying to get at least 20 people to do it. If you do it, I get paid. I can get you on there. We can all get paid. I'm joking. But please, guys, look, this isn't a conspiracy like pyramid scheme app. This is just a cool app that you go on there with your friends. You do fantasy. You learn new things about sports, guys, and you share sports stories. Honestly, that's one of the funnest thing is like people like ask like, what was your favorite like game growing? Like, what all have you done? Like, what do you want to do? Like, we have a lot of discussions and polls and stuff. I know a lot of people like polls. They're fun.
And so it's something that benefits them and benefits you, correct, sir?
Yeah, and it's free, you know?
Yeah, and another thing that I would classify as that would be talk about your book, man. Let's talk about it. You know, about something that benefits you.
It's something that benefits everybody. I don't know if y'all know what mentalism, but pretty much it's just whenever you use all your brain and stuff, because not everyone uses all their brain or whatever. But anyway, there's this guy who used to be a football player, and now he's a mentalist, man, and he can help you out a lot. It's from this book called You Know Too Much. The link is in the description. Click it below. It's exclusively on Amazon.
Awesome. All right, man. We'll give us your. It's time for the parting shot. Parting shot, Connor.
Stay water.
Oh, come on, man. It's the same one over and over again. God. One more.
It's a paradox. That's the point of it. It's won me 2 championships, and it's gonna win me more.
Lame. Okay. All right.
Selah. That's my other parting shot. Selah. And
Selah, yeah.
Jumpin' Jehoshaphat's.
Okay,
whoa. Voldemort.
Hey, there we go. Okay.
And speaking, Ben Roethlisberger, it seems that the gods of the bathroom stalls were not kind to him. Seems that they came to get their just desserts. He lost. He looked pathetic.
I read that
crying at the end of the game.
I read that he's coming back next year, though. So,
I know.
You know. Yeah,
so I'm in on Chase Claypool.
Hey, yeah. And my parting shot right now is this. Enjoy football. Okay, because right now, listen to us. Listen to fantasy football. Still collect information and pay attention. Pay especially like the Cam Akers situation. You're seeing him really blossom as a true workhorse running back. So watch that. Watch for trends like that. Make mental notes. But now it's nice to just watch football, just to watch football and enjoy the game. So make sure and do that. Take time to smell the roses. It's a crazy, crazy time outside that door. Your front door. A lot of weird stuff happening, especially coming up this week. Just take this time to enjoy it because the God blessed us with this, and so enjoy this blessing. All right, man. So on behalf of Connor, the Gut Marshal, and me, your humble MC, Brian the Migo Baldwin, we want to thank you for watching, and we hope that this year is a damn sight better than last year. And Connor, help me out here. Remember, everyone, in fantasy football as in life,
don't dream it, be it.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Enjoy the games that are happening right now, today and tomorrow, and enjoy your week. Lord willing, we'll see you next week, or you'll see us.
Bye-bye.